Hey guys, we're back with Lucid9. When we last left off, we stopped being best friends with Rui, and now Elizabeth is our best friend. And it's past midnight, so we're on the last day before we're a murderer, according to the Steam store page. It's called You Can't Trust Anyone. You Lose Your Mind. Whatever that means. Sounds happy. Tossed awake by the rattle of a jackhammer just outside my window. Still dark out and my eyes are blurry. I rub at them and squint into the street. A handful of men garbed in bright orange are huddled across some crack in the middle of the road, surrounded by 3 large trucks. Definitely construction work of some kind. Fall back onto my bed and jam my pillow over my ears, but it's futile. The noise pounds straight through my wall. No matter which way I turn, it continues to throttle me from all sides. Aggravated, I leap out of bed and head to my living room. We're already in the living room. Eating at the tension between my temples. Well, times to choose construction. Did it really have to be at such an ungodly hour? I retreat to the living room and lie on the sofa. Sleep avoids me. Like it's gone for good. Clearly this isn't going to work. Instead, you just get up and start the day. Let's see. Breakfast. Fridge. Completely empty, of course. To be fair, it's been a while since I've gone grocery shopping, but that is nothing to stop my growing irritation. Today looks like it'll be fantastic. Enter the door to pull on my shoes, but a sudden alert from my phone stops me in my tracks. Our day theory doesn't seem to be true with the in-game dates. I've not heard from you in some time, Mr. Troll. We talked yesterday. Is the night bothering you? That can often be unreasonable. Night. Is that a metaphor? I guess Elizabeth is the most. Need a cleaver. No, I don't need another mysterious email. I don't need advice. I don't need any of this. Unreasonable? Wasn't there something about the case that was unreasonable? Come to think of it, maybe I should check into the independent killings again. From the sounds of it, those killings might actually have a substantial connection to this case. Oh, we're thinking time! Let's do it! Guess the internet exists for a reason. I withdraw my phone, running a search on the independent killings. Only a few options pop up. When I tap on them, they never load, only spinning in place. What the heck? I tap again, refresh. Start my browser. Nothing. My internet's fine. I check the NNN website, and it loads within a second. Nothing with the independent killings. Seriously? The last thing I need is being censored. It's tech problems. Today seems to be one of those days where nothing goes right. Struggle to keep still, breathing deeply to stave off the irritation. My interrupted sleep, paired with a nagging twist of hunger, starting to haze my brain. No, I need to fight this. First, I have to buy groceries and make some breakfast. Filling my stomach will help me think clearer. Head to the kitchen for my book of coupons. Technically, I'm not short on money, but it never hurts to save. It's one of the few things I can do for my parents. When I look through the drawer, I find a phone tucked away in the back crevice. A phone? What's a phone doing here? Curious, I pick it up, turning it over in my hands. I don't recognize it. It's the latest premium Lemniscape model. Upscale even for my standards. Whoever there owns this must really be a really rich kid. Try to switch the phone on, but nothing happens. Not even the empty battery indicator. Odd. Is it completely dead? Have they been listening to us this entire time? I pry the back panel open to find that there's nothing where the battery should be. Weird. Looks like someone took out the battery. Oh. What is this? Is this the phone that's been emailing him? Like, you know what I mean. So now I've got this random phone and I have no idea where it came from. Wait, isn't this the model that Misaki was talking about before? It says here they're holding some kind of lottery drawing for weed. Oh, they'll be giving that away at a drawing. Puzzled as well. It's just an acronym for Wall Electric Energy Director. Can run on power from a wall socket even without a battery. That's great. This is the new model that Misaki was raving about. I can just use my universal Lemniscape charger to turn it on. Plug the phone into the wall, holding my breath as I tap the switch. The wallpaper glimmers to life, sharing a group photo of 7 or so people, taken in the school courtyard. Wait, what the? These faces. The faces of Shoji, Akane, Haru, and Yahiko. Huddled around them are 3 people who I don't recognize, but I think I've seen them around the cafeterias. The Happy Club. Could this be Yahiko's phone? No. He hasn't come over since last week. Even if he did, there's no reason he'd leave his phone here, much less without a battery. Then I noticed that the phone has no lock system, no number code, no fingerprint recognition, no voice command. Something feels dirty about looking through someone else's personal information, but given the circumstances, it can't really be helped. I hold my breath and slide the lock aside. A barrage of messages pops onto the screen, all from Yahiko. Bewildered, I filter through them. Yahiko Ikari, new messages. Dude, where are you? Tell me right now. Are you pick up your dang phone? Coming, so help me. Coming for you, dang it. The phone slips out of my hands and clatters onto the counter. Stare at it wordlessly, aghast. This is Haru's phone? So, we saw Haru's phone ping, and the mutilated body is presumed to be Haru's. Did we take it with us? Well, us. Like the possessed, well, not possessed, alternate, Yama Alter. What is Haru's phone doing in my apartment? Frantically, I checked the timestamp of the messages. 2 nights ago, just an hour after the train incident. The train accident where Hiko had allegedly been arrested and taken to the police. Was that why his words were so harsh? But then, what did I see him in District 6 that night? Haru, Yahiko, Shoji. The lapse. What happened during the lapse? Stumbled to the couch, my vision spinning before my eyes. Wait, what's going on? Images shift in front of my eyes that overwhelm my vision. I'm in my apartment, but I'm out of my apartment. I'm in the present, I'm in the past. Everything smells like iron. Iron, trash, smoke. I walk forward. The carpet against my feet turns to slime. District 6. District 6. I'm in my laps. Stagger forward, blindly reaching for a hold of the wall. A garbage bin, anything. My shoes catch against something on the ground. Barely hold my balance. Just a few fade away lies the corpse. Hewn, with long slender cuts over every inch of its skin, trickles of red seeping into the ground. A dark pool sloshes over the cement, sluggishly crawling towards my shoe. I step forward, fixed with morbid fascination, peer onto the corpse's mutilated face. No, we can't see his face. What's Haru? Why is he... I have to be mistaken. I have to. Nauseous kindles in my stomach. I'm struck still with shock. My limbs frozen to the ground. Iron fills my nostrils, strangling me. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. The body's unmoving, still. Rid of its suffering. I yawn. It's been assessed my legs will take me, weaving through buildings, streets until my lungs are pleading for air. My surroundings whistle past me, twisting with macabre images of mocking beasts. Too late. Always too late. Yama! I grind to a halt, struggling to keep a grip on my panic. Yiko stands before me, his phone open and a light in his hand. He's pale in the moonlight, almost to the point of being a ghost. Yahiko? What are you doing here? We stare wordlessly at each other. Yahiko suddenly shakes his head, as if waving his thoughts away. Have you seen Haru? Depends on your definition of see. That's probably the worst time to have a smart mouth, but I can't help myself. I find some cruel humor in this moment, or I'll break. So what's left of him. You... what? Yahiko's eyes search my face, and I'm unable to speak. Quickly grabs my shoulders. Then what are you doing? Shouldn't even be here. Scoff at this. Oh, really? Yahiko rifles his fingers through his hair agitatedly. Don't you dare tell anyone. His eyes are pleading, but the urgency in his words startles me. Why not? But no one can know about this. His evasiveness makes me wonder. It's almost as if he already knows that Haru died. Scared someone will find out? He falters, staring at me in disbelief. I'm trying to help you, dude. You have to get out of here. Now. Yahiko was a good guy the whole time! His voice is flat. I don't even know who I'm talking to. This is not the same Yahiko that I've known for 2 years. You know what this game reminds me of? Chaos Head. I just now got it. Why would I go? Leave. The intensity of his voice shocks me into obedience. I race away, fleeing to the safety of my apartment. I don't look back. I throw the door open and race to the bathroom. Sagging against the toilet as nausea rolls in my stomach. Haru's injuries flash before my eyes, just like a fit of retching. There's like hours before my body finally seems to calm down. What did I just see? My hallucination merges with reality. I'm hunched over the sink, staring emptily down the drain. Haru, mutilated to death. Yahiko, District 6 without any rhyme or reason. Everything pointing to me. So, is Yahiko the culprit? Like, I've been suspicious of him for a while now. But I don't think he is anymore. Like, he still very well could be, but Yama Alter could be the culprit. Which, like, Yama Alter could have pinged it, but I feel like I don't know. I feel like that's the cheap option. Mr. Yota? Could be. Like, we could find out something that makes it obvious to him. Like, you know how he told us that the kids were dead? But then it finds out that the school didn't learn they were dead until the day after he told us that. Ooh. So, it could be something like that. Natsuki? Like, no. I don't think Natsuki's involved. She just knows. Well, involved as in directly killing someone. I'm not sure at this point. Like, Hiko chasing Shoji? That could be explained. The Haru thing, like, that's still suspicious, but... And the fact that he was never arrested. Maybe what we saw at the train station wasn't really what happened. Like, it was like a fake memory. Oh god, I'm on that again. Anyway. Rather, the uncannibal alien in my body during the lapses. Gone, it's all gone. I'm too late. I can't, I shouldn't, I didn't. Mizu, Haru, Shoji. I stood by. I killed them. I killed them all. Blood. When there's enough of it, the metallic scent kind of turns sweet. Almost like a rich, vibrant pool of paint. Paint that gets everywhere, that seeps into the walls. The cement. Paint. Alright. Never been much of an artist. No. Maybe if I was, Yuri would have stayed. Or Yuri left. Oh, I chased her. I killed her. Just like I have, with everyone else. I'm done with all of this. Too late. And there goes the bell! Finally, gosh! I thought that class would never end. Don't forget, big test tomorrow. The class groans in unison, but I don't join them. I'm accepted my fate. I'll just suck at math forever, so I might as well not study. Great, now I sound like Yama. Oh, are we Yahiko now? Yeah, I'm a big dummy, writing dummy, inksuit dummy. Dummy that I should have seen since the train accident. That I haven't seen. What? Is the Yahiko that we've seen a fake Yahiko? Are there two Yahikos? I kinda started thinking that. Because there's the Yahiko that was like the Happy Club? What's that? And are there two Yahikos? Now I'm worried. Is that pathetic? I feel like that's pathetic. After the words he said, I should be mad at him. How could he say things like that? How could he use that kind of weak spot against me? Still trust him, I guess. Can't seem to stop trusting him. Besides, if I'm honest, I said some terrible stuff too. Just want to talk it out. We haven't had an argument this bad since Miki. Oh, this is Yui. Okay. No, everything will be fine if we could just talk it out. Why do I need to be the one to take the first step? Okay, I know I was insensitive, but doesn't Yama know that I just want what's best for him? He's never really been able to take care of himself. He's basically just a big overgrown baby. Really attractive big overgrown baby. Cheeks still flush. Remembering I suddenly wrapped his arms around me and shielded my eyes from seeing Shoji. Oh, okay, Yui, cut it out. That's just pathetic. Someone who I knew died right in front of me. Instead, I'm just thinking about my crush. Is that what they mean by coping mechanism? Anyway, Yama, baby. Baby Yama. Is that why Yama got so upset? Because I keep thinking that he needs to be taken care of. I don't know. It's been so long since we've essentially been so distant. I don't even know what to do. Is this what twins feel like when they're separated? Lost? Even if they technically have other friends, like certain metal summon roommates whose names I won't mention. Or may or may not be called Akira. But anyway, being apart is like walking without shoes, or doing homework with a pen instead of a pencil. It's not seriously bad, it's just weird, not uncomfortable. Maybe I should talk to him. Remember the way things are going at the school? It's better to not live with regrets. But at the same time, can I really do it? Hey Yui! Classmate pops in front of me with a cheery wave. Totally forget her name, but I instinctively return her smile. Hey, what's up? Ready with the GFC, you game? My smile falters. GFC. I want to do for a trip to GFC. With everyone there. Sorry, I think we'll pass. Don't be a party pooper, come on. Really can't, but thanks for the invite. Not gonna talk with Ari Hiraga, are you? What? Where did that come from? I don't know. I just used to hang out with her, so. I glanced in Ari's direction out of the corner of my eye. Even though school's technically ended, she's calmly sitting at her seat, munching a peach. She really likes peaches. I used to just go out and talk to her because of her quietness, how she was bullied, how she was labeled. Really reminded me of Yama. I should reach out to her. I still should defend her, but it just hurts. Is that why you're with me? Sticking around someone you... Wait! The bottom right corner, is it a different color than it used to be? Is the menu different too? No. Hold on. Let's check the title screen. Oh no, it's still the same, okay. How many CGs do we have? I assume this one's the Hero CG that we missed. So that means we're just missing 2. Not counting the Hero one. Okay. It's not true. It can't be. I wouldn't have done something like that, right? Some philosopher once came up with a figure that every act someone did was only done to help themselves. There's no such thing as a real good deed. What's that called? Like true altruism? Helping elderly people is just to make yourself feel better. Giving to the homeless is just to get attention. Loving families is just to repay them for raising you. That in the end, everything is selfish, and selfless love doesn't exist. And that can't be possible. He must have just been a real moper. Yui? Oh, sorry. Just remember that I left my laundry in the washing machine. Oh yeah, I was doing laundry. The light passes smoothly from my lips. What's even scarier is that I don't feel a hint of guilt. Oh, I see. It happens to me all the time. I know, right? You're not really setting an alarm. I guess we'll be going. See ya. Have a good time. The moment she exits the room, though, I instantly drop my smile. Alright, I'm gonna go check on my laundry. Hold on, I'll be right back. Alright. 30 seconds! Get it! So what happened is I ran over to the laundry machine. And the bookcase is really unstable. Like, even if you just walk by, it'll shake a little. Like, no matter who it is. Like even my brother, he's like 7. Walk by and it shakes a little. And I ran by. And there are trophies on the very top of it. From when I used to play soccer when I was a little kid. They kind of fell off, so I had to go put them back up. Looking a bit under the weather, what's up? A carrier suddenly leaps from beneath my desk. I smile in relief. I think it's real this time. Hey, Akira, should I ask you why you're hiding under my desk? I'll tell you, but then I'd have to kill you. So, drama club? I don't think so, not today. She stares at me, not in a judging way, but definitely searching for answers. Remember what you promised? Yeah, but it's not even at school. That's exactly why you should come. We're doing confidence exercises. That way, after you leave, you can go right to his apartment. What, today? No time like the present. I can't do that. Not in our current situation. The situation won't change unless you make it, Yui. It's a universal fact. The law of inertia? Precisely. An object in motion stays in motion, with the same speed and in the same direction unless acted upon by an unbalanced force. Currently, the object that is your and Yarama's relationship is headed straight into a black hole, will be crushed into tiny bits. Or create a time-space paradox that unravels the very fabric of the universe. Point dramatically to the sky, she grins in satisfaction. Exactly, so you should try. As soon as possible. Lower my hand. I'll try. I say this lightly to appease her. Honestly, I don't want anything to do with Yama. Not anymore. Even thinking about it hurts. Hurts to the point where I feel like I can barely breathe. Really? It'll all be okay. I'll look back on this day and think, ha! Well, I was just as silly as a goose in a soap opera. My throat feels sore. Wanna believe her. Honest. Thanks, Agent Angel. Oh, it's nothing, Agent Goose. Both Silly Goose and Mother Goose. She squeezes my shoulder comfortingly. We're in the club, okay? Come when you can. Everyone misses you. Okay, have a great time. As always. She squeezes my shoulder again and disappears into the hallway. I feel terrible for lying. I can't bring myself to feel anything at all. I take up my bag and exit the school. Feels more like something out of habit than my own conscious choice. Actually, don't come to my senses until I reach the school entrance. Why am I here? There's no reason for me to leave. I live on campus. I don't have any activities, and I'm not going to eat anywhere. But does she still live on campus? This takes place after the train station. My voice cracked a little there. This takes place after the train station. But she still lives on campus. Alright, the idiots and I used to hang out here. Usually before a trip to GFC. There isn't anyone now. I turn to the school, but a sudden movement catches the corner of my eye. What was that? I head around the corner, but there's nothing except a trash bin. Weird. Must be tired. Thinking about heading back to my dorm to rest, but a curious suggestion makes me hesitant. Now that she's played the idea of visiting Yama today, I can't get it out of my head. It's a terrible idea. He hates me. He doesn't want to see me. He's tired of me, right? Who's reminding that idiot to pay his utility bills on time? Who's dragging his sorry butt through school? Who's keeping him from collapsing out of exhaustion? Kira. Why? Fine, I'll go. Just for a few seconds. Pop in, make sure that some nuclear disaster hasn't happened. Pop out. Easy, right? Just stop asking rhetorical questions. They tend to give me the answers I don't want. Huh? I turn around down the road. Just normal people, normal cars, normal houses. Nothing out of the ordinary. Must be really tight. Okay, what's going on? Try to walk closer to the street and blend on into the crowd, but I swear that there's this constant shadow on the edge of my sight. No matter what way I turn, I can't seem to see it. There, again. Start to pick up the pace, weaving into more populated streets. Still there. Whatever's going on, I need to get out of here. Maybe I'm just being stupid, but I swear that the shadow is actually following me. I jog back to the school, only stopping for breath when everything seems safe. No sign of that person, whoever they were. Good. What was that? Looked like they were behind the school. Well, it looked like they were right there. But that's not possible, is it? The only entrance is the gate. How did they get in without me seeing? Is that... yeah, Masato? The figure starts running straight at me. I don't even have time to think. I immediately sprint away, heading back to the main street. If anyone can protect me, this crowd can. I can't. They have a very small head. I grind to a halt somewhere in the massive people gathered by this crosswalk. When I glance behind me, I still see the figure hanging around at the edge of the buildings. I can't even get a distinct outline, but I swear that I see two glinting eyes in the shadows. They seem to be looking right at me. I shudder, pressing myself as close to the crowd as possible. Thankfully, when the stoplight turns green, the figure doesn't follow. But it's a little strange. Why does that person seem so familiar? Is it Yama? Come to a start with my head pounding terribly. This must be what it's like to have a hangover. My eyes absolutely scan their surroundings out of habit. City, nighttime, sitting on a bench, cool breeze and a clear sky and weather that I would have enjoyed in different circumstances. That's right, it lapsed. Oh! Where was that Yama altar? Or is that what the game wants us to believe? I draw on my phone almost lazily. My brain's still fuzzy as I check the time. 10 p.m. Been out for how many hours? 14? The entire day gone. No record of where I went or what I've been doing. You can't trust anyone. You lose your mind. I would say that counts as losing my mind, but I can still trust people. We have Elizabeth and Ari. I check my bank records on my phone. Nothing new. Photos, notes, calendar. Nothing. Pockets? Doesn't look like anything stolen. At least nothing super important. No messages and no calls, whether incoming or outgoing. Looks like they've been deleted. Is that it? Oh wait, something in my jacket pocket. Pull out a slim phone that's cool and smooth against my palm. Great. The troublesome phone of Haru Banya. Haru Banya, who's brutally murdered. Haru Banya, who is the latest phone model. Haru Banya, who, after being murdered, somehow had his latest phone model make its way into my apartment. This doesn't raise more than a few questions. Nothing will. I don't seem to care. Why don't I seem to care? Guess it's not like I'm going to get any answers just by standing around here. Should I head back to my apartment, take another look, see if I missed anything, now that I'm actually thinking clearly. Almost a little too clearly, actually. What's this? As I draw nearer to my apartment complex, I notice a line of police cars surrounding the entrance gate, lights flaring and sirens blaring. Shigure and, Katsu? In the center of the light streams, none other than Shigure and Omoto, deep in conference with the police officer I recognized from my little trip into the forest. As per usual, Shigure is practically screaming her lungs out with every word. Are you not cognizant of the impetus by which I have come? Officer Kobayashi, the Borio has contended that this student must be incarcerated under suspicion of the recent homicides. So I'm aware. I harbored my own suspicion. You contend that such an intellectually impaired ersatz for a humanoid sloth could possess the sophisticated genius necessary to orchestrate the mass murder for his associates? Was she talking about me? They're talking about me? If the police are here. The police are talking about me. They're waiting to arrest me? You know more than I do. What's your opinion on the matter? Here's my errand boy. You claim to be good at reading people. Are you saying that you misread the suspect? I'm also in Shigure's jaw twitches. She stuffs her hands in her pockets and mutters something I barely catch. I'm not wrong. Then you agree that Yama Ishimoto is this prime suspect. Wait, what's she? Shigure sold me out! Shigure, the legitimate detective, does she believe that I'm the killer? She wouldn't, right? The emptiness in my chest promptly dissipates, replaced by pounding fear. If even Shigure believes it, doesn't that mean it's true? I agree. She agrees, I agree, the universe agrees. Try to step back into the shadows. My feet fumble and I clutch desperately at the wall, staring blankly before me. Glad we're on the same page. I will submit a request to Lemniscate to track his phone. The time such an action will take is too substantial. Barring the convict conveniently shares his location with us, the process can take up to 48 hours. And we're ready to get started. He motions to several officers standing by. They gather around him in a loose circle. Wordlessly, I turn on my heels and sprint away and throw my phone on the ground! Where to? I can't even say. My shoes seem to move automatically, even as my mind stands still. Corner here, turn here, stop here. Yeah, that's right. I'm not just an ordinary high school student who woke up from an overlong nap. I'm a murder suspect, a guilty conscience. Someone who holds the phone of the murder victim in his hand even after the victim's death. Shigure, she's not the type to lie to protect someone. Should have expected that answer from her. Then, if I accept it, shouldn't I be turning myself in? I grind to a halt at the subway platform, sliding into the nearest bench. Get rid of your phone. Alone in a crowd? Isn't that the expression? I mean, you could keep your phone, get arrested, and then, you won't kill anyone because you'll be in prison, probably. Yama Alter probably won't. Probably. Although I don't know if Yama Alter is evil. Hanging around in public is probably the worst place for me to be. As soon as they get a hold of my picture, my face will be broadcasted across the nation. Who knows? Maybe it's already posted on Patter. Maybe Misaki or Yahiko have already stumbled across it. Like Shigure, just like Shigure, turning, one by one. Not a friend, not an errand boy, not an academy student, a murder convict. Why wouldn't they leave? Why wouldn't they all just go? Because you're not guilty. Her voice is almost deafening in my head. You're standing in every corner of my brain. I almost started the sound. Well, but what I want doesn't matter. The evidence says otherwise. Killings happening at night. The culprit. Someone who knows the security procedures of the academy well. Someone who could fake sanity too well. What if, when I'm sleeping, my personality changes, and I get up, sneak across town? You know that's not true. Alright, that's enough. Ooh, right of the life! I close my eyes and quiet my thoughts, waiting for an image to materialize. Sure enough, a familiar figure steps onto the scene. What are you doing here? Here to bail you out, kid. Last time I checked, you're supposed to be keeping me sane. Putting voices in my head. But I'm the culprit, I can do whatever I want. Ha! You'll only keep me sane if there's any sanity to keep, kid. Touché. What you're feeling right now, that's dissociation. You're subconsciously alienating yourself from your own emotions due to anticipating future trauma. I know what dissociation is. I like it. You're what? It's a painkiller. What isn't there to like? Snap out of it, kid. You'll only get to the bottom of this if you dedicate yourself to it, 100%. You can't be afraid to feel. Hope you know how cheesy you sound right now. Will it make you feel? Feel what? Exasperation? Can't give up, kid. Not now. Why not? What's there to discover? Am I a murderer? A fugitive from justice? Look, do you honestly believe you're the murderer? Yes. Well, clearly you actually don't, or you wouldn't have dragged me here. You've got my time for now, kid. Make it worth it. Start a little at the accuracy of this Yota. I spent way too much time with him. So the null hypothesis is that I'm the serial killer, and the working hypothesis is that I'm not. Good start, good start. What does that mean? It means that I just need to find evidence that I'm not the killer. But you won't settle for that, will you? You want to find out who's really behind all this. I might not even know him. You're kidding, right? There's this huge piece of evidence hanging right in front of you that... You know what? It's more fun if you just watch you figure it out on your own. I find myself becoming intrigued. How much do I know that I think I don't? Enough to solve what the police, with all the resources and brain power and authority, still can't? The police are limited by a little something called bureaucracy, you know? Besides, remember your advantage. Advantage over the police? You have a core piece of evidence that they know nothing about. What might that be? Dashing good looks. Clearly they don't share my amazing hair, my to-die-for body. That was a very passable imitation of Yahiko Ikari. 4 stars for effort. I wasn't joking. Yeah, you were. Give me some real evidence this time, kid. So, what? I forget. I don't think they have the psychological profiles. Would they know that much in depth? Why wouldn't they? You think they wouldn't have... Okay. It's Haru Bunny's phone. I have Haru's phone right here with me because it was in my apartment. Bingo. Police don't have this phone in their physical possession. Not like you. They don't have the same hints. Now, to be fair, they were buzzing around your apartment like vultures around a cadaver. So something definitely attracted their suspicion. Well, it's not like anyone else was at Haru's murder besides you and the killer. At least, no one who witnessed it firsthand. Not only that, but the police didn't come into my apartment until just today. Found this phone just tucked away in my apartment. Had to have gotten there somehow. So whoever put the phone in my apartment knows the code, since there's no sense of a break-in. And? Well, you're basically saying the killer is someone close to me because they can access my apartment. Yes, and? You don't think it could be, oh, I don't know, me? Oh, really? Then how did you lure the victims out even though you weren't close to them? Why didn't you remember taking the phone from Haru, or removing its battery, or putting it in your drawer? Balance of probability remains that you would have remembered at least one of those events. Even so, we're not seriously entertaining this as Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde play, kid. You know your own medical reports. The lapses are a problem with your memory, not your behavior. It could have changed since then. Do you even know how sad it is that you're losing an argument with yourself? Just move on, kid. We've only got so much time. Even I have to admit that it's an unlikely scenario. Right, so then what? So assuming that you're not the reason why Haru's phone is in your apartment, then how did it get there? Well, someone else had to put it there. Good. Who and why? The killer to frame me. That would have been the only other person with access to Haru's phone before the police arrived. The police would have had it planted the phone in my apartment. Hey, now you're getting somewhere. Even if you found the phone, the killer wanted to make certain that you want to know what it was for. Why did that fail? What? Well, you found out it was Haru's phone because you turned it on. That's clearly not within the killer's plan. So you're saying that the killer didn't know about the wall charging feature. The killer might have taken out the battery, but he didn't know that I could power the phone just by plugging it into the wall charger. Which means, he knows about some technology, but not all. He knew enough to take out the battery, but not enough for the latest features. So he's not Misaki or Yahiko. Yeah, good going. That actually solved this for real. See? You already know one thing about the killer that the police don't. Hooray, let's throw a party. Suck it up, kid. There's another weird thing about Haru's case that you need to remember. Happen to know what it is? Method of death? That's weird, you know, tons of slashes. Location, though, I think is... It was killed in an alley in District 6, not in the forest. Good. And? It's a place with too many potential witnesses around. Even though the forest has police on patrol, it's not like they can secure a large portion of it, much less the entire forest. He probably knows the forest like the back of his hand. Could have easily snuck around them. I said truth, but good. Although it would have been risky to take a screening victim in an area swarming with personnel. Would the forest have been swarming with personnel 2 days ago? Yes. like 2 days ago. That's the day of the train incident. There's a major police-related event. There's a prominent accident elsewhere. This can't be everywhere at once. Oh? That day was also the day of Shoji Hasegawa's death, right on the subway tracks. I can't imagine that the group of the forest would be anything other than a skeleton crew. Well, technically those would be 2 entirely different divisions. One with violent crimes, the other with the civil affairs or something. Usually yes, but it might have been reported as murder. Ihiko was arrested and interrogated for it. Did you see how easily he walked out of it? Must have been a witness interrogation, not as a suspect. It's either that or his parents are influential enough to. Okay, we're getting off topic here. Let's just settle it like this. It's likely that it was handled by the Violent Crimes Division because it involved the death of another academy student in the wake of multiple student disappearances. Furthermore, there are 3 witnesses at the scene. Yui, Yahiko, and Yui. All of you are also academy students. Happy? Why didn't I think of that? You just did. So why does that matter? The forest was still a fairly viable option, and at the very least, it would be away from overly inquisitive citizens. Then why was Haru still murdered in District 6? This doesn't mean the killer wasn't entirely in charge of his circumstances. Things didn't happen according to his plan. So then the question we must ask is this. Why and how was Haru murdered? Can't answer all that. You're killing me over here, kid. Fine, I'll rephrase it. Remember how every victim previously logged in for curfew before they disappeared? Yeah. But Haru didn't, because he had to die because he witnessed something. He was away from school even before the curfew told. See something weird? Besides the obvious breaking pattern? Holy smokes, kid. The pattern is odd. Why would the killer kidnap students after curfew? Let's say I'm your everyday Joe. Well, your everyday psychopathic Joe. I need to kill a couple people here and there. For some reason unknown, it has to be a bunch of kids at the super uptight private school. When would I choose to strike? After curfew? Tell me why there's an obvious disadvantage, ignoring the obvious security problems. It would be take place in a hard-to-see campus, limit the suspect pool. Because security locks down on this school after curfew, only a few people can be out and about. The suspect would be limited to students or maintenance staff like the janitor or security team. Good. Hardly ideal circumstances for a killer. So, pretty safe to assume that he wouldn't act after curfew unless he was absolutely needed to. Which means that Haru Bunya missing curfew was his own choice. Because if the killer kidnapped him before curfew, then why didn't he do so to the other students? This time was an exception. Hey, everything can be an exception. We'll never get a working theory that way. Let's think about this. Haru skips curfew while the killer is confined. Night falls. Unlike the other victims, Haru is out of school. Still ends up being killed. Probably thought that he would be safer if he wasn't confined to curfew. Oh no, you don't think that. You think he went to look for the killer. There's no proof of that. I wouldn't say that. It's easy enough to stay safe in public. 24-hour fast food restaurants with CCTVs, public hospitals, even the police department, for crying out loud. The killer might know the school security systems like the back of his hand, but can't control all of us on them. And Haru didn't seem like the stupid type. Just so. Coincidence? Probably not. Good boy. If that's the case, why wouldn't he tell anyone his suspicions? You tell me. Because he didn't have any. He's just gonna tell the first guy who left the school. And on that note, why didn't he notify the police if he was gonna take such a risky action? Why wouldn't he notify the police? Why wouldn't he indeed? This is what you want me to feel. Correction, this is what you want you to feel. Because I have to understand what Haru was thinking. You only don't understand Haru because you're distancing yourself too much. It's time to get real, kid. Check that phone of yours. Check my phone? Stumble out of my concentration in a disoriented mess. Still in the subway, which is now completely empty. How long have I been thinking? Get rid of your phone! I peer around the abandoned platform. Nothing but the soft flickering of dim lights. Guess it makes sense. This isn't exactly a major station. A dull vibration in my pocket of my pants redirects my attention. That's right. Phone must have been vibrating all this time. From Shigure, probably, to lure me someplace or another. Some teacher to warn me of my absence. Maybe even a friend who's wondering where I've been. It probably was vibrating from the moment I entered the subway, vibrating incessantly. Commotion. Tend to shut it out when I'm overwhelmed. Distancing myself from reality, as Mr. Yoda would call it. Childhood trauma, learned behavior, coping mechanism. One moment the world's there, the next it's just me. One with the figureheads inside my brain. A caricature of Mr. Yoda to help me think better. Or, how do you say that? Caricature? Caricature? I know it's the stabilize my emotions. Such extremes haven't been necessary for years. After all, what excitement happens in high school? Gossip, relationships, bowling? But now I'm distant, filling in myself. I want to go back to the cool choice making. Somehow although cold. Something that apparently couldn't even notice the vibrations in my own phone. Guess I've eventually noticed. I humor myself and scroll through the notifications. Daily mundane life, I expect. Akira. So I tried to disturb your 1,000-year slumber, but have you seen your destined princess? Dude, have you seen Yui? Is Yui with you? Yui MIA after school. Respond ASAP. I think Yui might be missing. Yui is missing? I don't realize it, but my fingers weaken and my phone slides through the spaces between my knuckles, turns in end over end, clatters to the ground. The shrill impact of fine glass against concrete echoing down the hollow, under the abandoned passage in which Trace said, Yui. Missing. Yui's missing. Starts out as a disappearance. 3 times. Disappearance through school, mysterious vanishing after a log curfew. No one can find them, no one can contact them. Phones are tracked and found in garbage disposals. CCTV footage turns up corrupted, or deleted, or looped. Then the bodies are found, peeled, sliced, ripped apart, the mutilated remains of what was once a human being. What if one of those bodies, one of those victims, someone who gave terrible, rending screams that only went unheard, was Yui? Forget about her in a week or 2. Waking up in a cold dark, greeted by a pale, choking voice, saying nothing but the sheen of a blade in the moonlight, something that saws through flesh. Forces a shaky breath into my lungs as my chest constricts. The world pulses. Yui's the next victim. An afternoon disappearance. Another break in the pattern. One more shaky breath. My vision spins. Yui's with the killer. With someone whose mask is perfect, disappears without a trace, who lives the place without effort, like everything is just a game. Someone who isn't caught up by an army of highly trained officers of law enforcement. Someone whom I could never dream of catching. Yui's going to die, and there's nothing I can do about it. Just a 17-year-old kid, heading in the subway like a homeless beggar, a refugee from police custody. Yui's smile, her teasing, her nagging, gone. Just like that. Another figure who entered my life, only to leave me, violently ripped away before her time. Another person who deserved to live so much longer. Pull yourself together! Oh! Imaginary Elizabeth. Moping around doesn't help anyone. If you want to be useful, then be useful. Lizzie. I guess I'd see you. You'd like to challenge me. Just this time wouldn't be any different. So things aren't hopeless? What amazing advice do you have for me? Skims almost mockingly, crushing away to spell the space that was once empty in shock. I have nothing left for sarcasm and cynicism. In response, the Elizabeth image flickers into Mr. Yota. There's still a key that you have to remember about Haru's case. A key? Recall it. How did you stumble on the killer in the first place? Haru sent me a location ping. It's only after that sentence spells out with too much use that I realized its irregularity. Haru sent me a location ping? It was probably the culprit who already had his phone. We're not even close. Not only that, but there's barely any time between the location ping and his death. So somehow in his last moments, just before he died, he decided to send a location ping to me? I fervently racked my brain for an answer. Would Haru really do that? Would he really put the fate of his life on me? I scanned through the flowcharts of known ways people socialize in my head, but it turns out blank. My brain is freezing. I can't see beyond the mental image of stumbling upon Yui's body, cold and bloody, mouth open in the last remnants of a scream. No, Haru, location ping. Why would he send it? Why would... Blood, terror, the crushing force of water. No, stop, I must think! Force all the habits from excessive therapy sessions into practice. Deep breaths, tall spine, tense all muscles, and relax slowly from the top to bottom. Her life is at stake. Yui could die at any minute. Maybe she already has. Or maybe she's camped up in whatever sick place this psycho has, waiting and dreading the moment when nothing will be on her mind but excruciating pain. Dang it! Mr. Yoda bleeds into Elizabeth, flickers for a moment, then bleeds into Misaki. Yama, I can't do this, Mickey. Please just leave me alone. I know this is hard, but right now you're the one with the best chance at finding the killer. Because of this dang phone. You know what? Fine. Can't handle this on my own. I'm giving it to the police. Won't they just arrest you? Yeah, well, they'll find out I'm not the real killer. Well, they have to trust your word that someone else put that phone in your apartment, rather than you taking it from Haru himself. It could take days, maybe weeks to clear the situation, even if you are eventually found innocent. By that time, Yui will be dead. Mickey, please help me. Yui, don't you love Yui? She needs us. In that case, do you remember whether someone sent you an out-of-place location ping? I received and sent too many dang location pings to keep track of. Maybe you can narrow it down. Maybe you can start using your head. Before Harubanya, was there anyone else who accidentally sent you a location ping? Actually, now that she mentions it, I remember something. Misaki did. A location ping? From Mickey? Did we arrange something? I don't recall any recent conversations with her. Yeah, it actually was you, actually. She sent me a location ping by accident. Mistapped because my name was right under... Wait, mistapped because my name and his names are right next to each other. Yahiko Ikari. When I think about it, everything fits too well. Yahiko Ikari started the Happy Club and is connected with 3 recent deaths. Akane, Shoji, and Haru. Before that, he also knew about Midori and Toma. And you know a lot about the Academy's security and technology. Maybe even more than the average faculty member, being the son of higher-ups at Lemnis Gate. And I've seen how in the blink of an eye he can shift from joy to death, but we have already made clear that the culprit doesn't know a lot about the latest trends in technology. He can shift from joy to depression, almost as if he had perfect control over how he wants his emotions to be seen. And he knows me, knows the code of my apartment, knows my schedule, knows my actions and my reactions, and he was there. At the murder of Yahiko Ikari was there. He had coincidentally run into me, seemed flabbergasted I was there, so kindly offered to cover for me. Yahiko Ikari, my former roommate, my friend. Isn't that just so dang typical? The serial killer can't just be some random chump off the street. No, he has to be someone close to me. But as my fury intensifies, this black anger, nausea, everything solidifies the blood in my body, Masaki's image fizzles into Masato. What kind of friend are you, man? You know it ain't Yahiko. You've known him for 2 years. He spit bitterly. Yeah, give me some proof. I'd love to believe it. For starters, you got no proof that some big shot organization just hacked out your lock. Might be tough to break through one person, and even a sneeze for a team of pros. So you're saying that the serial killer could actually be... I mean, everyone in town knows my password. Let's be real, Natsuki knows it. Could actually be an organization that decided to frame me when I caught one of their members killing Haru in District 6. Well, yeah, something like that. Then something doesn't make sense. If the killer, or organization or whatever, weren't close to me, it's weird that I'm still alive, Haru's phone was in my apartment, Academy students were targeted. I'm thinking I'm still alive? Or Haru's phone was in my apartment is weird too, but if they really were behind framing me, then Haru's phone shouldn't... No, that's not it. Is it Academy students being targeted? Why would they be killing students? What? I don't get it. What does that have got to do with anything? Maybe they're hired to kill some kids. How the heck are we supposed to know anything about their goal? It's weird because I'm still alive. Why won't they just kill me? Witness the crime scene out by myself in District 6. They wanted to frame you, man. But so it is the second one. Why not? He's accessing it. They shouldn't have been able to, I mean. Dang it, my mind has completely hit a wall. Didn't I just say that they could have hacked it? You did. I can't get stuck now. Force my way through. It's weird because I'm alive. That's the thing. How could they know that I couldn't defend myself? Huh? The only people who could possibly know about my lapses are ones who are close to me. Really close. Yuri and Masaki for sure. Maybe you and Yahiko. Which means that the killer could have only been one of those 4 people. It can't be you. It can't be Masaki. I'm pretty sure it can't be you either. What? Could it be Yuri? I mean, there's nothing against her. Really. Well, no, there's nothing... she doesn't have an alibi. Well, I guess no one even has an alibi, but you don't think that way for Yahiko? You want me to list the evidence alphabetically or chronologically? I can't believe it, but Yahiko actually fits. Let me ask you one more thing, man. Do you really think that Yahiko's the serial killer? Just told you that. You really believe, like you believe that someone rises every morning and I'll badger you into the track every day, that Yahiko's the man? No, I don't. I honestly don't. Everything goes against him. For some reason, I just can't imagine that Yahiko would be the serial killer. But isn't that shallow-minded? Isn't that foolish? Couldn't my reluctance lead to Yui's death? Right then. Misato's image fizzles into Akira, who jabs an energetic finger in my direction. Righto, cheerio. Time to think of this from another angle. We got ourselves some chicks up our metaphorical sleeves. Sarge, so don't give up yet. Wait. Doctors have our records. Which means Mr. Yoda would be able to access them, so he would know about the lapses. I've cracked the case. No offense, but you're not exactly the person I want for logical thinking. Oh? But what you need and what you want are two completely different things. Like dying versus not dying. Well, what do you suggest? Well, you have a suspect now, right? Don't flip the turtles out before you prove whether he's guilty or innocent. It's like counting your chickens before the avian flu strikes and wipes them out off the face of the planet. So find proof of Yahiko's innocence. Easier said than done. Much easier said than done. I wouldn't say that, Sarge. You had some things doing in that brain of yours. Such as? Akira suddenly morphs into Misaki. Don't you remember how the killer forgot about the phone wall charging feature? Yahiko loves technology as much as I do. Not to mention that his parents work at Lundesgate. If you were the killer, do you really think you would have forgotten something so simple? That's, well, right. But by itself, it's pretty weak. Misaki fizzles out, allowing Elizabeth to take center stage. And think, what does Haru's misstep really imply? Remember, in his panic-less moments, he was attempting to send a location ping to Yahiko, but his fingers slipped on you instead. Oh, of course. Why didn't I see that before? Haru was trying to send a location ping to Yahiko to get help. Haru wanted to let Yahiko know that he was in danger. If Yahiko saw that he was in District 6, well, I think that even Yahiko would know that something was wrong. Correct. Haru must have eventually been able to get a signal through, because he showed up, even if it was after me. Not only that, but he had already called the police. I'm trying to help you, dude. You have to get out of here, now. Why would I? Go, leave. Which means that your entire basis for suspecting Yahiko Ikari is now null and void. A little part of me relaxes, before I realize this doesn't actually solve anything. Yui's gone, and I'm nowhere closer to discovering the killer than I was before I started thinking. Yui's still in danger, still a runaway convict. The serial killer is still running amok, having his little grim parties. Is there nothing I can do? Nothing? Wait one moment. Think, why did Haru not notify the police before he began tailing the killer? Like me, he's a capable individual. We don't just miss such things. Why indeed? Why wouldn't Haru have requested backup? Or at least given an anonymous tip? He lost access to his phone. Maybe he didn't have his phone with him. Oh, is Katsu the culprit? That Naoto? He had to, otherwise it wouldn't be in my apartment. I would have had it with me and everything. Maybe he thought that if he spoke to the police, the killer would somehow learn about it and start playing safe? Leads to a different assumption. The assumption that the killer would somehow learn about any information told to the police. In other words, the police are corrupt. If that's the case, then it would make sense why Haru wouldn't contact them. Simply put, he didn't trust them. Didn't trust them? Why? A personal traumatic encounter? Previous difficulties in dealing with law enforcement? Could it be something else? Could it be that Haru saw something in the police, something he would never forget? You know him more than I do. What's your opinion on the matter? Here's my errand boy. Claim to be good at reading people. You're saying that you misread the suspect? I'm not wrong. Then you agree that Yama Ishimoto is the prime suspect. I agree. Could Haru have seen corruption? Why is it that a student was the first one to think of camping outside the school and tailing the serial killer? Why is it that the investigation force didn't even go through the school, scouring the area for any evidence on the killer? Why is there no city CCTV ever turned up with any results? What if all this time, sitting behind the curtain, watching us dance, the police were just there, laughing, watching us grunt in fear as they pretend that they're trying to protect us? That would mean Haru died for nothing. Yahiko called for nothing. Now, Yui will disappear, we shredded to pieces, we left to rot for nothing. There's nothing, not one dang thing that I can do. Catch the killer, find the evidence, package him up, and ship him to the police department, and they'll just walk free because it was all part of the plan. Worse yet, they won't even catch him. They'll have him surrounded, and he'll miraculously break free, and they'll give chase like a bunch of fools. And Yui will die for nothing. Yui, with her fiery passion and her love and her endless enthusiasm for her dear ones, passes the fate of nihilism. Where there's no intrinsic value, no purpose, no beneficial weight to her sacrifice for me. She'll be remembered, maybe by a memorial for victims who are the targets of a horrifying serial killer who will maybe one day be brought to justice. That'll be her only identity, murder victim. Girl who had her whole life ahead of her. One more poor soul in the annals of injustice. No one will know her smile, or her little quips, or the way she bit her lip when she was nervous about something. No, the name Yui Hayata would only bring nods of pity and despondent sighs if she was really lucky, fuel for a movement for treatment of mental illness or weapon control or some other political objective. Then as days pass on, as time becomes months and years and decades, she'll be forgotten forever. Drowned out in the names of other victims who will be remembered with nothing but nods of pity and despondent sighs. Nothing but non-existence. Aerie suddenly appears and stares at me with such intensity I swear she's almost real. Do not lose focus. Her image blurs at the edges, running out, hair turning orange, and... Gosh, you're a wreck. What happened? I open my mouth. A feeble, unintelligible noise bleeds out. You tried to do too much, Yama. That's the problem. You want to do everything, but everything becomes so overwhelming that you just end up doing nothing. You can only do what you can. The rest is out of your hands. I can only do what I can. Right? Yeah. And right now, all you can do is figure out who the killer is. You're up for that much, right? So you're stuck because you think the killer has to be me, Yahiko, or Masato, right? I guess. My voice comes out very small. I squash the temptation to reach out, touch her jacket, her hair, anything. Because right now, she's not real. Right now, she might even be... Are you paying attention? No. Wow, I think I finally know what it's like to be one of your teachers. I carve out a cross between a chuckle and a snort. So close to reality, but it's not. Then, all-knowing teacher, what do you have to say? Well, your passcode is literally so stupid that anyone who saw it once could get in. That's not the problem. The problem is that the killer knows about my lapses. Oh, wait. There's something strikingly familiar about what she said. Did she mention this before? Did she say something like this before? There's something vitally important about that statement. Your passcode is literally so stupid that anyone who saw it once could get in. What sticks out so much? Just once? Just once. But talking about someone who had seen my code just once, someone who commented about how stupid it was. Even Mr. Yoda pointed out how stupid it was! I knew it! Jiro Yota, a man who helped me move into my apartment, who commented on how stupid the code was, who certainly would have remembered it. A man who knew all the victims because they each were fighting psychological problems, and he was the school counselor. A man who would know the security of the school inside and out. You would not be up to date with the latest features of smartphones, like a wall charger. A man who was strong enough to inflict the same wounds as the serial killer, smart enough to outmaneuver the police, controlled enough to fake sanity in the day. A man who, after curfew, was free from his duties, and a man who could approach me after seeing at Haru's motor site, surprised that I didn't seem to remember what had happened. A man who could certainly be curious at my unusual reaction. A man who could access the confidential school records and learn about my lapses from there. A man who I trusted too much. Why? It's not you. Something I must have missed. A proof, a theory, anything. Why did it have to be you? You dang old geezer. What do you even... Why? Nothing but silence. Silence of finality. Of a door that's been opened and can never be closed. All tension leaves my body. I can barely feel myself slumping on the subway bench, neck uncomfortably stretched to accommodate the weight of my hand. Mr. Yota, a mentor, my friend, and the serial killer. You're really different today, Yama. What's bothering you? Back then, I should have seen it. Because why hadn't anyone else noticed? Why was Mr. Yota the only one who thought something had happened that night? Who, me? I'm pretty much a free bird after I verify curfew. I have had my suspicions. I've known that there's something odd about him. But I didn't want it there to be. I wanted to wave it away. I wanted to trust Mr. Yoda. I wanted just one person who would understand everything and stay on my side. Well, there's no explicit rule saying I can't use the confidential databases. Pretty sure that there is. Nope, I may be faculty, but I'm not a teacher. It's only stated that teachers have to request special permission. Check the loopholes. Right. You know the entry student application to the academy requires a psychological analysis by a qualified physician, yes? Yeah, another security measure, isn't it? Let me read this and see what you think. He knew about my lapses, not because I told him, because he had access to the psychological overviews of each student. He would have known about each of his victims. Maybe they were assigned to his counseling care, just like I was. Yeah, I hate computers. But we'd all be dead without them. You know what was great? A desktop iPad. Man, that was great. Stable, awesome, and a killer whirl of a fan. You guys don't know how satisfying it is to hear your computer work to keep itself cool. It's kind of weird. No casual user has desktops anymore. Oh, and icon phones. And phones these days break if you breathe on them wrong. Icon phones? Can probably survive a nuclear blast. Oh, there we go. Finally working. And he knew about computers. An avid follower of electronics. Not enough to know about weed, but enough to know about phone batteries. Still in detention, the teacher's convinced that I need a more permanent solution. Like death? Can help you with that. How's the apartment? Still in one piece, mostly. Good to hear. And Phil? Phil? Little houseplant, the one I placed on your shelf. Memory sticks more than mine, kid. Well, how do you have this much free time? Life as a door manager is just swell, isn't it? He's the door manager. Like die-cut pieces of a complex puzzle, all the facts and memories line up in perfect succession. The killer's mystery Ryota. Now that I know with certainty, intrinsically, just like I know I can sit on a chair and it will support my weight, or I can walk under a bridge and it won't fall on top of me. I just don't know what to do next. Shouldn't there be a sense of triumph? Miniature party in the back of my head, giving me a cookie for successfully finding out the killer? Something keeping me going, something propelling me to the next step. I know the killer, the big identity of the killer. Should I report this? But to whom? I'm on the run from the police, who may or may not be corrupt. Can hardly show my face at school, and if I call him Mr. Yoda, well, I simply wouldn't do anything. For the most part, just call him. Better get your hands off you, kid! I should just give up. There's nothing further to head to. No way out of the conundrum I've worked myself into. The situation requires me to be clever. More clever than I can be. Want to think myself out, find some magical solution, but sometimes it's not just there. Reaching into an empty bag and expecting handfuls of gold. And is this it? I'm gonna call it there. We've been going for an hour, and I got a package I need to go get it. So I'll see you guys next time. I'll be right back. Loving this. I called it! I'm a genius! I'll see you guys next time. Bye.